Okay, everyone. As we enter the semester or just come upon this on the web, I'm going to take just a little bit of time to just show you some of the few things I've learned about this program, Smoothdraw. So first off, let me give once again thanks to Sal Khan at the Khan Academies for showing me or plugging this product on the website, to which Bill Gates' kids go. So, Sal Khan, thank you for the Smoothdraw. And I'll let you know that this is just another paint program. There's a million of them out there, but this is a freeware in it, and it has great things in it, with some negatives to it, I have to say. And the one negative for we engineers, or those of us who want to draw straight lines, it doesn't have a straight line drawer. So I'm going to let you know that any of these programs are only really best used if you've got some sort of digital tablet or digital pen. Now, I can show you or plug you into the fact that you can make a digital pen essentially just by having a Wiimote. I think the guy's name was not Tommy. I'll get his name. The guy who came up with the Wiimote stuff. Just do a search on Wiimote and pen, and you'll come up with how to get a digital pen pretty cheaply. So I'm using something called a bamboo tablet. Bamboo, and you see me writing here. Couple of things. This program, I guess it has some text. I guess I can stick some text in there. Hit a return here, I guess. It does text. It doesn't seem to do lines, but that's okay. That's okay because it does a whole lot more. It has tablet pressures, and mostly what I want to show here today is just its ability to actually do color, its ability to control the canvas, so that you could all see all of the toolbars here. I'm not showing you that I've actually made the canvas the full size of my capture in a program called, once again, plugging these, go back to here, Camtasia. So for many of you, the program will be Cam Studio. So basically, I can basically YouTube HD, which we can go a lot higher than this, but it's about 1280 by 720 is what YouTube will capture. So if I go here to my canvas and look at my size, I've got a little bit off. I've got 1024 by 764. Let's see what happens if I make this 1280. Go back again, 1280, tab. 1280 by 960 would be a full size if I kept the aspect ratio, but if I go 1280 by 720, I believe that in fact is, and that's gone ahead and changed the size of the frame here. And I'm not going to show you the full frame because I'm trying to keep view to the toolbars. Though you'll see very often, if you're just interested in the content of what's in the whiteboard, this is how you're going to go about doing it. Alright, I pointed out that I'm using a bamboo tablet, and the bamboo tablet I have, you could probably get for about 40 to 50 bucks. It's a lot of money, I know, but those of us who will realize that a lot of, CAD is key, but so is creativity and sketching. And so very often we still have, many of us have learned how to think and write, if not correctly, at least get our thoughts out a lot quicker than typing. So I want to point out that I'm using a bamboo tablet, and it also has this multi-touch, or I'm sorry, it has an ability to work as a touch as well, but I've turned that off. It's kind of key here when I start trying to do straight lines and something like this, because that seems to be for me, and if anyone can tell me how to do it, I would appreciate it. The bad thing is going to be basically no straight line or arc. However, we can look at a ways to fix that here in a little bit. All right, so what you have to learn to do with software is figure out when in fact you're getting most of what you need, and then learn how to back it up and pull in other things to help you. So I'm going to go ahead and just do File, New here, just erase of it. And then once again, I've got my canvas. I'm going to be curious what size canvas it brings in. You see it's going around here. And I'm going to go back and say canvas, resize. Remember the size, so that's good. I'm going to show you basically what makes this Smoothdraw a great program to use, and it's, amongst other things, it's the tablet pressure here that you can actually, as you do things like a brush here, you can change by how hard you're pushing on this tablet. You can change the width of the line, and say maybe try that here. I've kind of got that light, and then I'm pushing it's harder, and then light and harder. And I think anyone, right, what I'm doing here is lighter, lighter, and then harder. And that's all well and good, but what I wanted to show you, the key thing that I think is interesting and fun and kind of important, looking at this one, is the fact here of doing this idea. It's called the dab here. So if I click on there, somehow tablet, dab, brush, under the brush, you see it comes up with a dab symbol there. So if I'm right now, I'm going to dab, it's going to take me out, try to pick a symbol. So I'm just going to click on that, and right now you see it's pulling all those in. Now, as I sketch here, I'm just trying to hold the same pen, but as I hold harder, that's the dab. Now when I go over here to the line, as I go down here, I'm holding very light and then heavier. So lighter, butterflies, and then heavier. So I have two different functionalities, and if you think about it, I can use one. I don't need to do all the line. I can do the image hose. If I push light, that's a bit small one. If I push hard, it's a bigger one. So I'm going to slam in, dot, 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 slam in, dot, dot, dot. So you can see, you start to learn to play around with these tools, and we'll look at a manifestation of this real quick. What those dab images are and where they are stored, they're stored in the kind of the program directory, which is one reason why I think, again, this program is not going to be easily installed on our network. So I'm going to promote, many of you have got a home computer or laptop to really think about this. Once again, because of Sal Khan and Khan Academies being pretty good at figuring stuff out. I'm going to hit a postpone here. I'm going to let you know that you can, it comes supplied with images, but it also, you can make your own. So here's one I made. I made a circle because it's, circle's kind of an important thing, and I'm going to hit open here. And so now, as I go through, once again, testing the two ways, that it comes in this, right? If I go to here and change that image to be the circle, when I do that, it comes in really weird, all right? But when I use it as an image hose, it comes in basically how I want, and I could do that big. That's as big as it gets, and that's as small as it gets. Smaller, smaller, smaller. So I'm going to do that right now, realizing that there's some work that could be done. It's interesting. Work that could be done with the JPEG itself. I'm going to go ahead and go File, New, and just show you how this might be used, for instance, in a soils class. No. All right, so we do a lot of modeling and sketching, both in 2D and 3D for soils, but one of the things in a lot of engineering we start with is this sense that we're going to deal with a sphere very often, a model, or we're going to hypothesize that the soil grains are like a piece of beach sand. Now, that's not a bad, if you think the assumption that we made at one point is the Earth is round, right? The Earth isn't round, the Earth is an ellipse, right? And it's around, all the way around the Earth. Who can remember how big that is? That's around 40 million meters, because it's 10 million meters from the North Pole to the equator through Paris. All right, so spheres are big, but spheres in a soil matrix will be big and small. And so one way, if you wanted to very quickly get a whole set of varying spheres, and you're going to see this is also going to be the case in a program called All-Guru, is just to change the push of the pen. So I'm going to go light here. See, yeah, that's making it, in this case, because it's a line, it's actually making it darker. But if I go now to, I'm going to go File, New, no. I'm going to now go to the image hose, and I'm going to make some light ones and some heavy ones. Light, 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 heavy, 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 light, 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 heavy, 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 light, 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 heavy, 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 light. You get the picture. Now, later on, you'll see an algo-ru or algo-do. I'm going to go ahead and just do a few more here. And this is actually not doing too bad. Now, you've got overlap and the like, so it's not everything's not perfect, but, and even in this program, what also I find interesting is that the view, right, it doesn't really seem to have a really good zoom as well, so you're dealing with a canvas. So it's got issues, but I just want to show out right now that you can now, once you put those things in, we'll see whether when you write, you can fill them in. Yeah, you can draw right in top, right? So you could kind of look at here, and if you think about these two spheres here, there's some sort of interface there. Those are a normal line. That's a tangent line. Right here, there's a normal line, and that's a tangent line. So you can see in some way how this pen interface makes a difference. Now, we'll see how many of these, how many students have them, and how we can get them on some of your personal computers, so you can start to realize that this does not replace CAD. This is the sketch. CAD, very often you want to be a little bit more exact than this, but these worlds come together very quickly now, I think, as you go back and forth, and you'll see that when we start talking about raster and vector. And so what you just start to do is you start to realize each tool has a little bit of a difference. So in summary, this is actually showing you the difference between between the dab tool and the image hose, and the fact that you kind of change the, right, you can change a whole bunch of things about each of these things, you know, the dab and the hose here, and that you can basically make your own PNGs would be the way to do it for dab items, and, you know, make or share or whatever. And so I'll finally show you where they are. I'm just going to finish out the rest of this. And we'll try this 15 minutes because just as a first time through. Let's see what images came delivered. They're so cute. And so here you got to know, once again, where your stuff is. And sometimes you don't know where the stuff is placed. You got to figure it out. This program puts it in program files. And it puts it in, by default, it puts it in, the program here is called Smoothdraw. See, I got a lot of stuff on here. Program files. Don't want to do that. Cancel. Looking for, I'm going to change my view. Don't want that one. I want details, and I want it by name. And I should be able to find Smoothdraw. There it is there. And I'm going to go to dab images, and there's all the ones we've got. So let's see. My favorite was Caillou. Open. So now when there he is. Isn't he cute? Now while it does the rotation, there's Caillou. Alright, so I got to stop here because one thing we got to be realized is that YouTube, when they say 15 minutes now, they mean 15 minutes. So you run past 15 minutes, it will not upload. It uploads the whole thing and then it stops uploading. So this has been one final plug for Smoothdraw, mostly to show you some of the tools that are there. You'll figure the rest out. You can save it in an interim in a Smoothdraw file, but he finally has a PNG file. Thanks for listening.